Hi and welcome to a new episode of Apex Race. In this episode I will talk to you about my Ford Mustang Bullitt, and I have it now for 2 years, and I would say after 2 years and nearly 19,000 kilometers I could figure out what I like, what I don't like. So I will tell you some things about the Mustang which I particularly like and some not. So have fun and enjoy, and if you have any comments, if you had any experience with your Mustang, just let me know in the comment section. So one thing I really like about the Mustang is this aggressive look with the really good headlights, very bright, this long hood, very edgy design to the front. But what I don't like is the hood itself. It looks nice, it's from aluminum, but when you're driving faster, I mean, I guess probably Germany is the only country where it's legally allowed to drive so fast yet, and I would say from 200, depends on the wind, but from 200 kilometers to the top speed, which is 250 kilometers, the hood gets air, I guess, through the headlight openings here, and it's shaking, it's wobbling. And I mean, of course nothing will happen because it's secured in the middle here with the lock, but you have like a strange feeling that all the hood is like shaking around and wobbling. This is like not such a good thing. And I mean, from other European countries who thought not about to go to Germany and drive their sports cars really fast to the limit. Another thing which I still very like is the clean design of the Bullitt. We are missing the horse here in the middle, and I think that's something special. We saw like Mustangs with a black horse, not a chrome one, but it's not the same. You have like a clean grille. It's more likely to be cooler, like Steve Mcqueen back in the days. On the other hand, you have like this meshed grille, which is of course plastic, and as you see in the summer, it's a bug catcher and quite difficult to clean that with a toothbrush, and you have to go through the meshes. Maybe another negative side, like a disadvantage on the Mustang in general, not only the Bullitt, is, and I'm really curious to hear your opinion, so let me know what you think, is we are missing front parking sensors or even a front parking camera at all. We have some in the back, we have sensors, we have a camera, but in the front we have nothing. And it's possible to mount such a rear camera to the front and link it to the sync free. So that's possible, but Ford from the factory didn't do that, I mean. And with this long hood and also with the splitters in the front, it's quite difficult in the beginning. You have to think, okay, where the hood ends. It's like quite tricky to find out where the hood ends and where you can park. So I mean, 2 years and 18,000 kilometers and nothing happened, thanks God, but you never know. And I'm really thinking about to update it with a front camera. And some of you may say, hey, don't be, live with that. I know some guys which already did that. So what do you think? Let me know. Front camera, front sensors, or nothing at all? I like the front and I like the side of the Bullitt a lot. I mean, this line is quite sexy. Where I have mixed feelings is that end here with this angle, and it looks, when I'm driving by some like big glasses in a door, or like on a building, and I'm looking on the side, I like really the front, I like this middle part, and with the back as I said, I have mixed feelings. I like the alloy trims, the alloy rims. I like that a lot. But with the back, yeah, the back part, I think that gathers everything together. Like you see, it's a sports car, it's a quite muscle car. One of my favorite views of the car is from this angle, and you see like really the back part. You have like the big tires, wide tires. It's like keeping the muscles onto the street a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I think like a little bit, you see it's wider, and you see like the power which is going to the front. Like this is one of my, as I said, one of my favorite views of the cars. What I don't like is the white tail lights. I mean, guys in the US have red tail lights. They want to have the white tail lights. I would have the red tail lights, but I mean, you can import it. They need like a E sign, and it costs about 1,000 something euro, and that's like a little bit too much for my taste. They have also sequential lights. We don't have sequential lights here. What I like is the exhaust system. I like that you can steer it like quiet and sports and race. So normal and sports, I don't hear so much difference, but there is something like, yeah, you can steer it active with this active exhaust, and the sound is nice. For my taste, in the race mode, I would like to have a little bit more about from backfiring. I mean, if you drive it around 2,000 to 3,000 revs and then let off the gas, it pops a little bit, but not so much. So a little bit more popping and backfiring would be nicer, but I don't know with this CAT system. I don't know if that's possible. Of course, aftermarket is big, you can tune a lot. Back camera, it's open, it's getting a little bit dirty, but not so dirty, because you know it's like hidden a little bit through the back. The deck window is of course not really in the frame. It's not even uneven mounted, but I heard that every Mustang S550 generation has that. Here the trunk, I mean, I had no problems so far with anything transporting in it. I mean, it's quite big. Actually, yeah, I never used like to transport big things in it, but I guess like for 2 bags, it's like, yeah, easy. Yeah. What is a little bit, I mean, I never experienced that, but maybe what be a little bit like not so comfortable is like this piece here, that is, it's, yeah, preventing you to put stuff in it, like to use the fully access to the trunk. And I mean, I never transported like very big things. I mean, it's a sports car and not a wagon, so no complaining about that. I mean, the subwoofer sound system, it's okay-ish. It's not great, but it's okay. It's a little bit sad. I mean, overall the sound deadening is not great, and we see that here also the upper side, it's not, you don't have any detonation material, so you hear some noises from the back. And actually, I don't know what that is. It looks like glue. Yeah, just discovered that right now. Some things about the engine, and I have to say, in the before I bought it, I had like, yeah, I researched of course some things, and yeah, some people were saying that the Coyote Gen 3 engine, it has like tickling in, I think in the facelift version, so, and the Mustang 18 models, they were ticking. And I have to say, I think maybe once I heard some ticking, but since that I never heard some ticking, or I just don't hear it. I mean, maybe I don't know it. Then the other thing is like the transmission. We have, of course, here a manual transmission. The Bullitt is only with a manual transmission. And in the US, guys were complaining that the forks of the shifters made from aluminum were breaking. And I mean, yeah, I have only nearly 19,000 kilometers, and to be honest, I'm also not like driving that really hard. It's more about cruising, and I mean, I think once or twice I revved it up to 7,500 revs and then shifted, and of course the whole car is a little bit shaking then, but yeah, so far no problems. I hope that will stay. Actually, I made some mods here under the hood, actually like 2 or 3 mods, and one mod is that here, this oil catcher between the intake and the head, like the left tank, and I did it on the left and on the right, but I have to, it's the right, the passenger side is catching some oil, but not very much, and I have it also on the driver's side, but that was here, that thingy. And yeah, I tested both of them, and I have to say the driver's side was very dry. No oil at all, so really dry, and I just remove it because yeah, I don't need it. You see, I have still like the bracket here, but yeah, the guys from the service, from the Ford dealer, put the cards on it. And yeah, but I don't use it anymore because yeah, I saw no point. It was just dry. The very first thing I updated are the shocks here for the hood. I mean, when I first saw the S50 550 generation and I saw the stick under the hood, I thought, wow, what a cheap car. So I upgraded with the shocks, and as you see, they are originally from Ford Performance parts. And what is a little bit sad, I mean, they are from Ford Performance, and they are quite as expensive for like my taste. I mean, normally you get shocks like for 20 euro, maybe a little bit more, and the Ford ones costs 120. So, and you see like this bolt here, it's rusty. I mean, I don't park this car outside, it's always garaged. Maybe a few times it's like outside, and you have already rust on the bolt. And I mean, come on, like for 120 euro, it should be like stainless, and it's from Ford Performance, original part. So that's a little bit sad. And I mean, it looks also a little bit, yeah, not so nice when under the hood. So I have to paint it black again, and don't touch it. Also on the other side, I mean, it looks like the battery cover is not designed for the shocks. So you have to cut out a big hole into it and to slide the shock through. And of course I somehow broke all this plastic thingies. I have to replace them, but I mean, hey, come on, I want like a quick access to the battery and not like to change 5 plastic screws out to get access to it. Also, one thing you have to watch for it when you're changing is the line for the washer, like for that. I mean, you see it, I squeezed it, and I also broke, no, I didn't broke it, it's like just moved out, but you see it's like very squeezed to get the fluid to the wipers, because of course we have like down there a shock which is like taking the space for the line. Like from outside modifications, you see I put some stickers on the quarter windows, and I was thinking about to cover them with like this, yeah, I don't know how to call it, but panels as the original 68 Mustang had. But I don't know, I mean, I kind of like the look of it, and also the chrome trim, it's quite okay for me. I mean, people do that like in black, but I think with the also with the rims, with this aluminum look, with this stripe, this aluminum stripe or polished aluminum, it's quite okay. Yeah. Let's check out the interior of the Mustang Bullitt, and I mean, it's a Mustang. We don't have like a very luxury car, but at least in Europe this car costs new 50,000 euros. So for 50,000 euro you will get something like you can also get a premium German manufacturer, of course not with this much horsepower, but so overall we have a lot of plastic, and with the time what is like the most annoying part to me right now is like I get like from this front section where the speaker is from Bang & Olufsen and also this plastic trim, we are getting like some tickling noises, and I don't like it. It's like playing a little bit on my nerves right now, so maybe I have to figure out what I can do to prevent that. Of course you have like so much plastic and also like rubber which imitates leather. Of course you can go and upholster that, you can go to a shop and they can do it for you, of course for a little bit of money, so you can increase the value of the, or like the feeling of the car. I like, for example, the headliner here, so maybe with such a fabric stuff you can also do that here. What I would start is the steering wheel. I mean, it don't feel so nice anymore, so yeah. One negative thing also is the back mirror, in the middle. When you're driving maybe from 100 kilometers onwards, it's really crazy shaking. And I went to the Ford dealer and they said, yeah, we can, I mean, they said we can exchange it, but we can't improve the factory. So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit disappointing answer, but I think that's the way things are working. And common problem or a known problem is that like suddenly the displays are just switching off, and that appeared to me once. I can't tell you if the Sync 3 also switched off or just the speedometer, like the main screen, but it happened. So I have to watch for it and let's see what can happen also. Another disappointing part also, in the European models we don't have like a assistant for the mirrors, for like a dead end. When somebody is like nearing to you, we don't have an assistant which warns you when somebody is there. What of course I like is you have like, besides the heated wheel and the heated seats, you have also cooled seats. That's in the summer we have, I mean, we have now 35 degrees or so Celsius, so it's quite hot, and then you can just roll up the windows and do the cooling seats. That's of course very nice. What is so not so nice is getting into the back seats, and I mean it's a pain, because you have to, in the back of the seat is like this thingy here, you have to flip it, and then you see the seat is not really moving to the front, it's like staying in the position. And we have power seats, so we have to move it to the front so the passenger can go in, and then we have to move it to the back, and if somebody wants to go out we have to do the same procedure. So getting in and getting out, it's pain. And of course in the back you don't have so much space, so depends on your size, you have to squeeze your head to the side a little bit to don't get hit by the back window. Classic e-brake, that's very cool to do drifts. And I mean, I was on a drift track, and this car is not designed to drifting. In this setup it has. I was driving with some Mazda MX-5 Miatas and also a Porsche, I think it was a Boxster, and they were they had no problems to go into the drift, like oversteering. And I thought, like, hey, with so much horsepower, it should be no problem to go into the drift. And I have to say, it was very, very hard. The car is designed for understeering, not for oversteering. So I had very hard times to drift. I mean, on safety purposes, it's very good, but it's not oversteering. But to have a little bit fun, it's quite difficult to get it to oversteering. So I'm really like, I think when you see all the Mustangs which are like suddenly out of control and hitting something, I think it was with the previous generations with the solid axle, but with the independent axle, it's like very, very hard to get that out of control. I mean, on wet surfaces, it's something totally different. Then it's like just flipping away. But it was like on an ice surface, but on a wet tarmac, it's not so easy as people would think it goes. Yeah, I think that's it. We had some cons, we had some pros, and I think the biggest thing is like, when you start the engine and then like the rumbling of the V8. I think that's the most fun of the car, and it's the excuse for everything, which is maybe not so good. And the rumbling of the V8 5-liter Coyote Gen 3. One thing, gas mileage. And I have to say, from this nearly 19,000 kilometers, I did 5,000 on a road trip through the Netherlands and through France and part of Germany. And I have to say, France is very expensive in terms of like speeding. 1 kilometer too much, I think it was 80 euros, so very, very expensive compared to Germany. And the average fuel consumption I had were 10.1 liters of 100 kilometers. So I would say, and I was driving all the time back roads, so no really crazy speeding on interstates, just back roads, maybe 100, 120, something around that. That was my highest speeding. And yeah, I would say with 10, if you get really to it, you can go below 10, but then it's not any fun. And I'm driving it as a daily driver, like more on back roads or also interstates, driving that a little bit faster. I mean, in Germany we can go to 250. I mean, no, sorry, we don't have any speed limit, but the Bullitt is electronical limit to 250. Of course, you can remove it, but I didn't. And yeah, so driving a little bit faster. And I mean, I'm around 10, 10.8, something like that. So not crazy. Of course, if you are in the city, like in a rush hour with stop and go traffic, it can go up to 20. That's yeah, no problem at all. One additional thing I would like to add is, of course, costs from such a sports car, a muscle car. And I mean, in Germany, we have to pay taxes for a car depending on the pollution it produces. That doesn't matter if you drive it 100,000 kilometers per year or just 1,000, doesn't matter, you have to pay the taxes. So the taxes, I don't want to lie, but I think it's around 450 euro per year. So you have to count with that. And of course there's the insurance, and you have like the normal, let's call it the, actually I don't know, it's like the you have to have it, and then you have like additional insurance if it were your fault or like vandalism. So I think, and it depends also about your driver's experience and how much damages you had in the past. And I think I'm now in the class 10. If you get higher classes, it's better. It means you had 10 years from like no damages from your car. And I think I'm paying with like with no like with like the vandalism inside, and no like that was my fault, and the insurance is also covering my damage. So I think I'm paying also around 420 euro, something like that. I think that's my current rate, and of course it's getting cheaper from year to year. And the next big thing is, I mean, okay, gas prices are different in every country. I mean, we in Germany, we pay something between €1.30 and €1.60, 5.70, depending on the quality of the fuel, for the liter of super, like high octane, 98, 102 octane. And the other part is, of course, inspection from the dealership and oil. So this car takes about 10 liters of oil, so that's around, I would say, 60 to 70 euro. And then you have to pay the dealership to change it because you want the warranty and stuff like that. So for the first inspection, after 10,000 kilometers in the first year, you have to go every year to the inspection, or every 10 to 15,000 kilometers. I paid something around 130 euro plus the oil, so around 200 euro. Then nearly I had my second inspection, and I paid around 300 euro. They changed the oil, they changed like the brake fluid, also the filters, cabin filters, and with the oil, so around 370 euro for the second inspection. So it's getting more and more expensive with every inspection. But you see, you have like the annual costs, like the fixed costs for the car. And I have to say that it's not super cheap, but it's also not very expensive. I mean, I think the most popular car in Germany is, of course, the VW Golf. And prices are for the insurance are quite the same, because you know there are more Golf drivers, so that means a higher probability of like a damage. So the type class of that, it's very high. Of course, the taxes are not so high because they have like smaller pollution, but the dealerships are charging also, well, like 1 hour of a dealer mechanics is around 100 euro, so the prices should be the same. So driving a Stang is not so expensive as expected. Depends, of course, also on the weight of your gas food. So the main screen, I mean, there are like these modes you can change, and then everything is like changing the whole display. So that's quite cool. But I mean, nowadays you have like the main displays are much more advanced. Like you have like the navigation and stuff like that. So, but I think for the time and still, it's quite okay. What I don't like and what I don't get is like this whole update things. I mean, I don't have like a oil temperature here. I mean, even a new W Golf has an oil temperature, and I don't have it here. I have just the engine and the cylinder heads, and then some additional stuff. But I mean, honestly, I didn't use that. Also, I didn't use the launch control. What is quite nice is like this ref matching. That's a nice feature, and also this automatic locking of the of the wheels when you're driving up the hill and you stopped and then you have to drive again up. So it's like pulling the e-brake for you automatically. So that's a quite nice feature. Yeah, the sync-free. I mean, it was already a little bit outdated yeah, when the Mustang arrived. But I did an update, not really 100% correct, but I mean it's not looking great, but you can mirror Android Auto on it, and then you have like Android with on the monitor. And yeah, there are some apps, CarBridge or CarTube, so you can mirror 100% your cell phone, and then it's like an extended monitor to it, so you don't have to use the sync-free. And I mean, the sync-free, it's okay, it does its job. I mean, the navigation brings you to the target. It's not so good as Google Maps, and I mean, by far Google Maps it's not great, but it's okay-ish, it's fine. So maybe for the future, what I would do is, yeah, build a front camera inside. So I mean, yeah, I can easily park then in my garage, and also maybe a little bit of upgrading the interior with some nicer materials. As I said, like the steering wheel, maybe some Alcantara, and also, yeah, the dashboard could be a little bit better looking. So from the driving experience, I have here the MagneRide system, and actually I don't really know what it's like, if it's like something worth or not. I mean, before I got the Bullitt Mustang, I was driving a S50 normal GT Mustang without the MagneRide and with the 10-speed, and I mean, I saw no real changes. I mean, maybe I have to drive it again, but overall I don't see any difference. I mean, if somebody of you knows a difference, sees a difference, feels a difference, let me know, but I don't feel it. What I really like are the brakes. I mean, the Brembo brakes are really great. You can really good. They are very strong, very aggressive, but also you can adjust them very well. And it's quite funny for me because I have also the Ranger. It's a pickup truck, and compared to the Mustang, the Ranger is like, yeah, for children. Everything is very soft, very light. The steering is very light. The brakes are not so good, as you feel it like very spongy. And in the Mustang, you feel it like it's a proper sports car. The steering is a little bit tougher, stiffer, and also the brakes are really, really great. And of course the engine, I mean, when you're revving up to 7,500 revs, you're getting like really the hairs, and you getting like a shaking of your body, and it's like really, really exciting to hear this 5-liter engine so high revving. I mean, that's really great. Yeah, as I said, sound detonating is not so great. It's quite loud, even if you turn off the active exhaust to close it, and it's hard. I have the feeling, I mean, it's a sport car, it has to be hard, but some manufacturers are doing suspensions a little bit better. They are sports cars, and you have the feeling they are stiff. You have good cornering ability, no rolling with the chassis, and also like driving comfort, that all the potholes are, yeah, suspension quite good out. And in the Mustang you don't have it really. I mean, cornering is great, but you feel it like this kicking a little bit in the back with every pothole or something uneven in the surface. Yeah, as always, if you like that, I would be happy about a thumbs up. If you would like to see more videos about the Bullitt and also about other cars, consider subscribe to the channel. And yeah, if you have also a Mustang, then and you had like other or similar experience, let me know in the comment box, and I would be very, very happy to hear from you what experience you had so far with the Mustang. Hope you enjoyed this quick video about the Ford Mustang Bullitt. I hope we see us in the next video. Thanks for watching. Ciao. See you next time.